Getting a good night's sleep is essential for having a productive day. Without it, you can pretty much guarantee that your next day is going to suck. With the introduction of the Sleepbuds II, Bose is hoping to give millions of people that good night's rest that they might be missing out on. But do they actually work? In this video, we're going to try to not only answer that question, but whether the Sleepbuds II are worth the upgrade from the originals. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things tech, particularly those smaller tech items that help to increase your productivity, streamline your workflow, and make your life easier. Ever since I can remember, I've always had trouble falling asleep. In fact, my parents used to tell me that they would have to drive me around in their car every night for hours in order to get me to fall asleep. As I became a teenager, I started going to bed later and later, and I think as I became an adult, my sleep just started getting worse and worse, especially after I had kids and keeping all weird hours and working and getting up in the middle of the night to feed them. I tend to be a very light sleeper. In order for me to fall asleep, I not only require complete darkness, but also complete quiet. If there's something going on outside, like an owl or someone talking outside my window, it literally annoys me to the point where I just will get up and start doing something else rather than sleeping. I've tried things in the past like white noise machines, listening to music, reading a book. Nothing really seems to help because in order for me to get to sleep, whatever noise is happening needs to be totally gone. I heard about the Bose Sleepbuds right after they came out in 2017, and I was intrigued by them, but I was kind of put off by the high price. At $250, it's a pretty steep buy-in, and I wasn't really sure if they were going to work or not. I did eventually cave in and bought a pair of the original Sleepbuds and had mixed results with them initially. What I found was that there were several issues that prevented me from using them full time. The one big issue that I had with the original Sleepbuds is that they were fairly uncomfortable to wear after a certain period of time. I would go to sleep and then be woken up in the middle of the night, maybe around 3 or 4 in the morning, because my ear was so sore that I just had to take them out, and it was kind of disruptive to my sleep, and I found I just was not getting the sleep that I should have been getting, especially after spending so much money on them. The other issue I had with the Sleepbuds was that I'm a side sleeper, and I found that when sleeping on either my left side or my right side, the coating on the Sleepbuds would make this squeaking noise that was very annoying, and I tried to find the right kind of spot to put my ear in, and I just, sometimes I could do it, sometimes I couldn't, and it just proved to be a very frustrating experience. The other issue I found was that when I put the Sleepbuds back in their case, they often didn't connect, and I would think that they were connected and they were charging, and they actually weren't. And so I would go to use them the next time and they would be totally dead. The other issue I had was that even charging after a full night, I would find that they wouldn't have a full charge the next day. Bose actually came out after a while and admitted that there were several faults with the original Sleepbuds. The most glaring of which was that the silver zinc batteries they had been using, which were supposed to give them great battery life, were degrading to the point where the Sleepbuds became unusable after just a few months' time. To Bose's credit, they actually had a pretty good solution for those who had bought these and were not satisfied with them. You could either send them back and get a full refund, or if you were happy with them but maybe you were having issues with the batteries, you could send them back and they would send you a full replacement. However, they were discontinuing them, so they couldn't guarantee how long they would last. I actually chose the latter option and decided to get the Sleepbuds with a new battery in them because I still liked them, and I was hoping that I'd be able to use them long term to kind of give me some help with my sleep issues. However, I found that over time, the same old battery issue creep back in, and over time they were becoming unusable again. So I went to the Bose website trying to see if I could file a warranty claim. I figured maybe give it a shot, see what they would say. Maybe I could send them back and they would send me another replacement. To my amazement, when I put in the warranty claim, they said I was eligible to upgrade to the Sleepbuds II absolutely free. All I had to do was send the original Sleepbuds back. They even sent me a shipping label, and within a week's time I would have the new ones. So I packed up my old ones, sent them back in, And about a week later, I had the new Sleepbuds II. So after using the Sleepbuds II for a couple weeks, I have some definite thoughts on them and how they compare with the old Sleepbuds. If you're unfamiliar with how the Sleepbuds work, what Bose did is they took the concept of the AirPods and put them into a pair of wireless earbuds to be used only for sleeping. The Sleepbuds use low energy Bluetooth to transfer sounds on board to the earbuds. So you're not actually streaming the sounds from your phone. However, the phone does play a part in pairing them and with transferring the sounds, as well as getting certain notifications. You can transfer a certain number of sounds to the Sleepbuds. I believe it's around 10 or so. And Bose has 3 different categories of sounds that you can pick. There are the noise blocking sounds, which are like white noise and fan sounds. There's the tranquility sounds, which are more sort of like new agey kind of like synthesizers and things like that. And then there's the naturescapes, which are more things like, you know, rain falling or wind or things like that. If you prefer to fall asleep to the sounds of a campfire, you can find that in there. You can't use the Sleepbuds for listening to music, taking phone calls, or anything else you might do with, say, a pair of AirPods. They're to be used only for sleeping. Let's take a look at how the Bose Sleepbuds 1 and 2 compare and contrast with one another. So as I said before, the Sleepbuds 1 had silver zinc batteries. Now, I believe what Bose was trying to do is make sure that the Sleepbuds could last all night on a single charge. However, what they found is over time, the silver zinc batteries degrade really quickly. So by the end of a few months, your Sleepbuds may be 50% capacity to what they were before. The Sleepbuds 2 have nickel hydride batteries, which are much more common in consumer electronics. They don't have quite the same battery life, but over time they're going to last a lot longer and you're not going to find yourself with dead Sleepbuds at the end of 6 months. Bose also updated the shape of the Sleepbuds. Gone are the kind of bulbous round shapes that the old Sleepbuds have. These are much more flat, they fit in your ear a lot better. Bose still includes 3 pairs of ear tips depending on what size your ear is. But particularly for side sleepers, they're supposed to fit a lot better, and I found that in my ears, they actually do. They also changed the coating on the earbuds, so you get rid of that squeakiness. I find that when I'm laying on my side, I don't hear any of that annoying squeak sound as I did before. Makes it for just a much more enjoyable experience. Bose also claims that there's better low-end response to block out more noise while you're sleeping. And they also said that there's better connectivity. So when you're initially connecting in with your phone or when you're trying to start a new session, you know, you're trying to sleep, you're not gonna have the same connectivity issues that you had with the old Sleepbuds. The other nice thing is that the Sleepbuds 2 charge via USB-C, so you're gonna get a faster charge and you're not gonna need one of those annoying micro USB cables that are quickly going out of style. One difference with the Sleepbuds 2 versus the Sleepbuds 1 is that the original Sleepbuds included a nice sort of soft case, and it also came with a power brick, so you wouldn't have to search for a USB outlet to charge them in. Not a huge deal, and I'd rather actually have the better fit, better low end response, and better connectivity, not to mention the better batteries, than a pouch that I'd probably lose anyway. But at any rate, I've still got the pouch from the old one, so I can just use that. So a couple things that remain the same from the original Sleepbuds are the fact that you can set an alarm from the app on your phone. You would just go into the Bose Sleep app, set what time you want to wake up, and then the alarm will actually sound through the earbuds. So say you've got a partner sleeping next to you, they're not going to be woken up by your alarm. Nice feature to have. The other thing you can do is you can have phone alerts. So say you're waiting for an important phone call, but you really need to get a nap in. You can have your Sleepbuds alert you when that call comes in. You won't be able to take the phone call through the Sleepbuds, but you will be alerted to it. Bose has kept many of the sounds the same, but they've also added some new sounds. So you can kind of go through the sound library, you can actually download some new sounds. I find in particular that I like the more white noise sounds because they tend to block out the most noise, but you may be someone that loves to fall asleep to the sounds of a campfire. Bose has updated these sounds, and I do find that they do sound a little bit more realistic. As far as I know, the limit for the sounds that you can keep on the Sleepbuds is 10. That may have changed, but I believe there's only a certain amount of memory on the Sleepbuds, and so the sound files tend to take up a bit of space. The other thing that has remained the same is the amount of time it takes for the sounds to transfer over to the Sleepbuds. Can take quite a long time. So if there's a sound that you know you want to get, you better start downloading it way before you plan to go to sleep. Another feature they kept from the original Sleepbuds is that you can actually use them in phone free mode, which means you don't have to have them paired with the app or your phone. However, you're not going to get the alerts or the ability to wake up with the alarm. So that's something to consider, but it's nice to be able to use them and not have to be tied to your phone. So after using the Sleepbuds 2 for a couple weeks, I can definitely say they were a worthy upgrade to the original Sleepbuds. Bose has listened to a lot of the criticisms from users of the originals, and they've taken those to heart and made the Sleepbuds 2 that much better. The fit is much better, particularly in my ears. I can put them in, go to sleep, not have to worry about having sore ears in the morning. I don't have to worry about the squeaky sounds in my ears, trying to get a good angle and trying to contort my head into all different directions to try to find the best angle so I can actually use these things. I can definitely tell a difference with the sound blocking. I found with the original Sleepbuds that the sounds on board would block some noises, but some noises would sneak through. With these, I find when I put them in and I adjust the volume correctly, I can now effectively block out most sounds unless it's just like a really loud lawnmower like 5 feet from my head or something. I also like the fact that I can charge these via USB-C, makes it much more convenient, especially when I'm traveling. I don't have to take multiple cables with me. I can throw a USB-C cable in my bag and not have to worry about it. I have noticed that the time in between charges has gotten a little bit less from the originals, whereas before I could maybe charge the case up, then maybe go another 5 or 6 days without having to charge them again. With these Sleepbuds, I'm charging the case on average maybe every 3 days or so, depending on how much I'm using them. So if you're someone who's going to be using them every night, maybe keeping them in your ears for 6 or 7 hours, you might be charging them more frequently. With my use case scenario, I'm charging them about every 3 days or so. For me personally, I find myself using the Sleepbuds more when I'm in situations where I might need to grab a quick nap. For sleeping at night, they do come in handy in certain situations. For example, I had a camp out with my son a few weeks ago. I actually brought them along, and they did do an effective job of kind of muffling a lot of the outside sounds. But I do find for the most part that I'm taking them with me, say like on a trip. Another great scenario that I've used these for is when I'm traveling, and you know how you find yourself sometimes in those hotel rooms with like really thin walls? These are great for blocking out those noises. And the nice thing is you can adjust the volume level. So if if there's some noises you want to hear, maybe you've got a baby and you want to hear the baby crying, you can adjust it to where the sound is only coming through a little bit and you can still hear some of those external noises that you might need to hear. Another situation that I found these really useful for is when you need to grab a quick nap. For example, I was taking a class a few months ago, didn't get a great night's sleep the night before, and I was pretty exhausted. So on my lunch break, went into the parking garage in my car, popped the Sleepbuds in my ear and grabbed a quick 10-minute nap. And if you've tried sleeping in a parking garage before, you know how loud it can be, and the Sleepbuds worked really well in that situation. So I'm curious to hear if you guys have any experience with the Sleepbuds. Are you original Sleepbuds owner? Did you like them? Did you take the plunge and upgrade, or were you able to exchange them because you were in warranty? Do you like the Sleepbuds 2? Do you think they work better? I definitely am happy that I was able to upgrade with no cost, and I find myself using them a lot more than I use the old ones, just because pretty much everything that was wrong with the old ones, Bose fixed with these. Now, they're not perfect by any means, but definitely if you're someone who has trouble sleeping, has issues with noise, these are definitely something to take into consideration. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. I plan to post another video 6 months from now detailing my experience over a few months' time to see if anything has changed with the Sleepbuds. Look out for more content on a weekly basis, and thanks very much for watching. you.